other. One of the major differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is the presence of organelles. Remember, prokaryotes do not have membrane-bound organelles, yet eukaryotes do have membrane-bound organelles. They both are cells, they both have a plasma or a cell membrane, they both have cytoplasm, they both have ribosomes, and they both have DNA. You already wrote this down previously. Prokaryotes, remember, are really small, eukaryotes are larger, prokaryotes are simple, eukaryotes are more complex. Prokaryotes do not have a nucleus. Eukaryotes do have a nucleus. Prokaryotes do not have membrane-bound organelles. Eukaryotes do have organelles. Prokaryotes are bacteria, and eukaryotes are animals and plants. So notice under prokaryotes it says no organelles, but in eukaryotes there are organelles. Well, what are organelles? Organelles are small structures in the cell with specific functions. And remember, animal cells and plant cells, which are type of eukaryotes, have organelles. Do you see the picture on the left, the circular cell, and that big purple sphere in the middle? That purple sphere is a nucleus. That nucleus is only found in eukaryotic cells. So this is an animal cell, it has a nucleus. This is a plant cell, it also has a nucleus. That's the defining characteristic between eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Does it have a nucleus? If it does, it's a eukaryote. If it does not, it's a prokaryote. There are many organelles out there, but you are going to have to memorize 8 different types of organelles. The most important organelle that we just talked about is the nucleus. The nucleus contains DNA, which is the genetic information of the cell, and controls the cell. Cytoplasm is the fluid throughout the cell. It's like a jelly-like, water-like substance that contains, well, a bunch of water and some salts. The mitochondria is in every single eukaryotic cell. It performs cellular respiration, which takes glucose, breaks it down, and makes ATP, which is the energy of the cell. A lysosome is a really small sphere. There's actually a lot of lysosomes in the cell, and it contains a bunch of enzymes that break down any waste found within the cell. Ribosomes are very, very important. They are found in every single cell, including prokaryotic cells, and they make proteins. A vacuole is only found in a plant cell. So if there's ever a question about what's the difference between an animal cell and a plant cells have vacuoles. Vacuoles are large sacs that hold lots and lots of water. A cell wall. A cell wall is another difference between an animal cell and a plant cell. Only plant cells and bacteria have cell wall. The cell wall is a rigid outside border that prevents the cell from bursting. So if the cell gets filled with lots and lots of water, the cell won't burst because the cell wall is holding the shape of the cell. Finally, a chloroplast. A chloroplast is only found in plants. It performs photosynthesis. Here's a picture of an animal cell again. Notice the nucleus in the middle. It tells us it's a eukaryote. Here's 2 mitochondria. Here's a lysosome. It digests all of the waste. We have a couple other organelles that are important, but you don't actually need to know about them. This is a plant cell. You should be able to look at this and know it's a plant cell and not an animal cell. And the clues as to whether or not it's a plant or an animal cell is it contains a vacuole, which animals don't have. It contains chloroplasts, which are these green things that animals don't have. And it has a rigid cell wall on the outside. These 3 organelles would tell you it's a plant cell and not an animal cell. That's all I have for you in this video. Write down any questions you have and ask me in class.